Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie Esther here, and today I'm going to present you with another topic for community discussion, and this is whether or not Decisive Strike needs to be looked at and fine-tuned a bit more to change it from the way it is right now in game. I'm sure there's some killer mains who are out there who are saying no, Decisive Strike is fine the way it is, and there's some survivor mains who used to rely on it who are thinking we want to make Decisive Strike great again. We want to put fear into the killers who tunnel, that they're going to have to pay for it if they tunnel because of fear of running into an effective Decisive Strike. So now the complaint with Decisive Strike, the way it is currently, is that the stun is too short and the better killers in the game are able to recover quickly and down the survivor almost immediately after the successful Decisive Strike is applied. So here's a video from Otzdarva. I'll link the video in the description if you want to go check out Ott's complete video here. But Otz shows about half the killers here, several of the killers who are able to just simply shrug off the effect of the Decisive Strike, which is a up to 3-second stun right now, 1 second of which I'm told is the animation, and they're able to quickly regain their wits, use their power, and down the survivor again almost immediately after the Decisive Strike is applied. And so the suggestion has typically been to increase the length of the stun, but then you run into the problem where those killers who can't rely on their power to down a survivor again, like Doctor or Wraith or Trapper, those killers that have to chase you down in M1, if you lengthen the stun, then that gives more distance to those survivors to get away, and it would affect them unevenly. The top killers who are just a blink away from getting you again right now might not have too hard of a time catching up again with a lengthy stun, but somebody who relies on M1 would really feel the effects. So I've seen an interesting suggestion here online on what their buff proposal was for Decisive Strike, and I thought I would present it to all of you and see what you think. So here it is. It's from the official forums of Dead by Daylight here, and it's a post from Guida02, and their Decisive Strike buff idea is that it would simply cancel out, negate the power of the killer for 7 seconds after the 3-second stun from the initial Decisive Strike landing on the killer, right? Wouldn't be able to use their power for another 7 seconds. I thought this was an interesting idea. There are a few people who, I mean, you're never going to get anybody to agree on it. So some people said that they liked it, some people didn't, but you know, as it always goes. But so the idea here is that, like, as we see in Ott's example, is that all these killers who are catching up after this Decisive Strike are using their power. So if they couldn't use their power for 7 seconds, then that would give the survivor the ability to get some distance, and it would be a level playing field amongst all of the killers then. And the beauty of this idea is that we know that behavior already has the ability to turn off killer powers, because they're doing it right now in the Haunted by Daylight event, where when killers enter the void, they can't use their powers. So they could just use that code and say, well, when a Decisive Strike is hit, the powers are negated for 7 seconds, the same way that they are in the void in Haunted by Daylight, right? So I thought this idea has some merit, and I thought I would bring it to you and see what you all think. Now, there are some questions surrounding even this idea, like, well, how would a hag trap work? I mean, I guess, like, perhaps the ones that have collision, maybe you would have those be able to pass through them, so a body blocker hag couldn't trap you and then eat a Decisive Strike. Obviously, they wouldn't be able to teleport to the traps for 7 seconds if you tripped a normal trap. How would trapper traps work if they put you in a corner and put down traps and picked you up? These are questions that would need to be explored, how they would work. Or Nemesis zombies, for example. How would Nemesis zombies work in these scenarios? But I think this is a solution that has some merit, and it doesn't overly hurt those killers like a Doctor who would suffer a long stun and have trouble catching back up to you, compared to a nurse who's like one blink away from downing you again. So I think this idea has some merit, and I wanted to see what y'all think. And obviously, if you all think it has merit, then maybe the devs will look at this and this would be something they could consider for a decisive strike buff that would be, as balanced as possible against all of the killers, the bottom killers and the top killers. But yeah, so I wanted to show this to you, and let me know what you think of this idea. And obviously, you're entitled to your opinion, but the only thing I would request is that you be civil to not only to me but to one another in the discourse, because we want to have some productive criticism or discussion about this. So we're bringing something to the table, bringing ideas to the table in a positive way, and not just mudslinging, name calling at one another. Because as a community, we all just want the game to be as good as it can be. And while we do appreciate this anti-face camping component that the devs are working on for survivors, there really isn't much of anything to discourage tunneling. So I do think that a lot of people say tunneling is quite bad in Dead by Daylight right now. So ways to alleviate that could perhaps be a buff to Decisive Strike, to make people, encourage people to go look for new targets and not go after the same person over again. Or if they do, then they'll have to suffer the consequences of lengthy chases perhaps because of it. Anyway, so I just wanted to present this idea to you and see what y'all think, because that's what this is all about, is community discussion. So that's all I have for you today. As always, I appreciate the time you spend here with me on my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment, obviously, because we want to have the community discussion. And don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog. And we will see you next time. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life.